Oh, I ain't got nothing for you, chickens. Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I'm answering a question. This comes from my friend Rene. The question was, how should I be doing keyword research? And she showed a list of various keywords that were somebody in web design or web development might write about. And her question was, these are the keywords that came up when I used this certain keyword tool. And these are all these suggestions for keywords that came up. And some of them have a high search volume per month, and some of them have a low. And her question was, should I just go for the ones with the high volume? And my answer to this question is it's a little bit multifaceted. And you're not just looking at the keyword volume, but you're also looking at the intention that people have when they're searching, when they're typing that thing into Google, that phrase. What exactly are they trying to accomplish, and what kind of audience are you going to attract to your site when you write about those specific keyword phrases? So really, you're asking, when we're talking about keyword research, we're really looking at three things. And like I said, this list that my friend Rene shared, it was mostly stuff that web designers, web developers might write about. Like I said, some of the words had a higher volume, like 800 searches per month, and some of them were 0 to 10 searches per month. For the most part, with the very few exceptions on this list of the keyword suggestions that they were getting, most of them are going to be searched by other web designers and other web developers. Now, I can attest to this fact because I've had my own personal blog since 2013 where I've talked about various things in web design and web development, and I used to write about that very extensively. And most of the traffic that I still get to this day is a lot of it is for certain articles that are either code snippets, or they're resources, or they're how to implement a piece of code. And I would probably say, just in the last month, probably like 7 out of the top 10 articles on my site, as far as traffic, are articles like that. It's only been in recently, after writing about SEO for like 2 years, that I'm starting to get more traffic for people searching about SEO and trying to learn about SEO. Because in the past, in that previous time frame from 2013 until 2017, mid 2017, I only wrote a handful of articles about SEO, and a lot more of it was about WordPress and web design and web development and graphic design and stuff like that. And so a lot of that traffic that I still get is other people who are web designers and web developers, and they're not necessarily going to kick me work. So it's more informational. It's people wanting to know how to do this certain thing. So when you're looking at keywords, one of the things that you're looking at is the intention of the person. Are they looking to hire someone? Are they looking to do it themselves? Are they another person who's just like you that's trying to figure out how to do it? Now, if you're a service professional in some other type of field, one thing that you really want to avoid is getting other people who are trying to DIY. They're trying to do it themselves, though that can get a lot of links. And sometimes Google, when people search those phrases, that's exactly what they're expecting to see. So that's the second thing that you got to look at, is the actual search intent of the phrase. And one of the things that I wanted to point out is when you have certain phrases that are buying intent or hiring intent, people want to buy something, like a good or a product or an industrial tool, or they want to hire somebody to use something, whether they're hiring someone to make a website for them, or fix their air conditioner, or fix their car, or rewire their house, or build their house. Those are buying intent or hiring intent keywords, and those are going to be a lot more competitive by and large than just informational content. So for the most part, where the competition is going to come and people who are further down the funnel and have a totally different intention of keywords are those type of keywords where people are looking to hire someone. But you can't live by those type of keywords alone, because most of the time those are going to be dedicated pages. They're not going to be blog articles. Those are going to be dedicated pages on your site where people go and hire you. But you are going to have some sort of blog material that appeals to people that would eventually want to hire you. Now, you might also have some material on your site that is informational, that appeals to people that are in your industry. And in that case, you could definitely write about, if you're a web designer, write about web design. If you're an HVAC contractor, maybe you're talking about innovative things in HVAC technology. Maybe if you're into auto repair, you want to talk about, how to fix a 1956 Chevy carburetor or something like that. Those things are totally useful, but they're not going to necessarily bring you direct business. So just be aware of that. Now, the third thing that you should look at is the competition for that keyword when you're doing keyword research, because the search volume is one thing, but the keyword difficulty or the competition for that search word, that search phrase, is going to be another aspect of that. So something could have a very high search volume, something like insurance or real estate or whatever it is, apartments for rent, whatever. But even though that's going to have a large search volume, the competition is going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of competition for those keywords, and it's going to be really difficult to rank for those keywords. So you really should look at that. So even with informational content, that can happen, where if there's a lot of competition for informational phrase like how to do this, and 11,000 people are also writing about that, that's going to be really hard to rank for. But the other thing is you can have a low volume keyword that is also high difficulty. And for an example of this, how to start freelancing, or how to freelance successfully. These search phrases don't have a really high keyword volume. People aren't, 11,000 or 100,000 people aren't searching for these things per month, but they're high difficulty because what's ranking near the top, they have a lot of links coming into those specific pages. They're linked to often. Or the sites that have those pages on them that are ranking in page 1 of Google, they're sites with a lot of links coming into them, and so they're going to be hard to beat. So the three things you really need to look at when you're doing keyword research is, what's the search volume? That one's obvious. But also, what's the competition for this, and is it realistic that I can rank for this? But probably the most important one is, what kind of audience am I going to draw with this content? Is it going to be people who will eventually hire me, or is it going to be some of my colleagues from my industry, and I'm really just doing this maybe to have them link to it, or have them share it, or gain renown within my specific industry? And there's nothing wrong with that. That is all well and good too, and you can build up your name and your credibility by doing that as well. But really consider all three of those: keyword volume, keyword difficulty, and what's the actual search intent of this keyword, and who is actually typing this into Google. I hope that makes sense. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO, and I'm here every single day making videos on SEO. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below. I'll put it in a future video. That's all for now. Until next time, peace.